We are playoff racing here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Hello, everybody. My name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator here for HVTV, here for your PT Gang Truck Series here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Just under 2 minutes left in practice here, and right now, Joe Hudson leading the field here at Homestead. Currently, Joe off the track here, but we are going to go and look on board of one of your championship contenders here. Lane Phillips in the number 6 machine. Looking strong all season here. You know, Lane, one of these guys that has kind of showed up throughout the season here, through in and throughout the whole season. Now Lane sitting P4 and pretty up there in that P4 spot, trying to figure out this track here. Homestead, kind of one of those unique tracks. It's not like it is a 1.5-mile track, obviously. 1.5 miles is the distance around this track here in Florida, but look at that banking that these drivers have to use here, and it's a very different, it's a very dynamic, it's a lot more unique compared to some of these other tracks that a lot of these drivers go to, where you can you are kind of forced to get out of the gas here, and you can't push the car as much as you'd probably want here to. Sam Colehouse right here. The number 28 machine trying to make some laps around the track here. But like I said earlier, like what I was trying to explain, it's just such a unique track. It's such a unique way to get around here, and it's not like a Kansas or a Chicago lane that you can kind of go flat out and go out of your way to make things work here. Here at Homestead, you kind of have to look at the track a little bit differently compared to these other ones. But 53 seconds left. Looks like Lane Phillips coming back out on track, and we're gonna see what he can do here right now. Only currently 8 trucks registered for the race here with 45 seconds left in practice here. So hopefully we can get some more drivers who want to come here and tame this beast of Homestead. See the 6 right now, trying to wrap the top here a little bit. Homestead, one of those tracks that is kind of unique in that fashion, that you can really kind of run wherever you want. You can run in that top like that, like what Lane is doing right here, but you can also run in the middle. You can run down low, you know, and you can really get some speed out of every lane if you know how to run it right. As you see right there, Lane using that top to try to get a good run off the exit here. You're going to get a good launch down the back straight. He's trying to keep that momentum up. The trucks are such a huge momentum-based car. You can't really lift because it just takes so long to get that momentum and speed back into the truck. So you're going to see them trying to in the gas as much as they can without burning up those Goodyear tires. Well, practice done. Joe Hudson, fastest at practice, 33.57. Brandon Sanfilippo, second in practice at 33.61. The good laps by both those guys. Currently still 8 cars registered for the session here. We're just waiting on drivers to come out here and start their qualifying lap. Like Joe's going to be the first one out on track here. And Joe took a little bit of a ding in the points. Missing a couple races. So now he's down to 3rd in points. Brandon Sanfilippo actually takes over your points lead for the first time here in the SSR Sweet Tea Game Truck Series. And that's just a testament to him really just showing up to every race and making sure he's here every week to get a good finish in, whether it's, you know, and with how few trucks are showing up here towards the latter half of the season. Just about finishing the races is what's going to give you the points. You finish dead last, and you're probably not getting any worse than probably like a 15th place finish. See Joe really sideways out of turn 2. Trying to use that top to get a good run off the corner. Oh, and remember, we know Joe is going to be someone who's going to... Oh, he's going to actually... Here. Joe's going to restart his qualifying attempt. Go on board with Lane Phillips. And we got a turn... Going into turn 3. Gonna run that bottom lane to finish his first lap. Ooh, Lane maybe got in the wall there a little bit. That does allow us time right now. He is currently your current pole sitter, 33,914. I'm trying to get to that bottom as soon as he can here. Ooh, you see him really get out of it there. In the lap he runs here, second attempt. It'll improve a little bit to an 33.82. And now that still keeps your lead. Look at your pole sitter here, Brandon Sanfilippo. And number 16, Sanfilippo Solutions. Here in the Chevy. Coming out of turn 2, this will be for the completion of his first lap. 34.1. That'll bump him up to third. He elects to run the top here in 1 and 2. Ooh, super close to the wall. Keeps it out though. Kilo lane he elects to run here in 3 and 4. It looks like he's going to try to get down to the bottom. Try to get to that white line. Does not get to the white where he probably wants to. Gonna yaw that truck out a little bit to the line. 33.6. Good enough for P2. Joe Hudson takes away your pole once again. 33.549. Did not get to see that lap, unfortunately. And right now, Sanfilippo in that P2 spot. And now currently no other cars on track besides Honeycutt and Sanfilippo. Honeycutt. And now sitting P3 with that 33.769. You see him trying to practice that pit road entrance. Something that you have to really be careful with here. Not only really in general. Not only at these 1.5 miles. Not only at the short track. Just in general. You really have to really be careful with the pit road. I mean, that can end your race going down the speed down pit road towards the latter half of the race or even towards the front half. Obviously, if you want to speed, you probably want to do it towards the beginning of the race. Gives you a lot more time to recover and potentially get that track position back that you lost. But in the latter half of this race, if you make a mistake down pit road, that's probably a GG's game over maneuver. Brandon going down pit road once again here. 24 seconds left in quali, so Bryce Dickerson, Ty Dickinson, and Brandon Ish, last 2 drivers who have elected not to take a lap here, and it looks like they will not. They will be starting 6th, 7th, and 8th here at Homestead. That all said and done, Joe Hudson takes your pull away with a 33.549. We wait on these drivers to grid up here. We'll get your starting lineup up here as soon as we can. Brought to you by High Velocity TV. Gotta allow these drivers to get in the cars and get everything set up. Remember, in the sim here, there's a lot of tools that these drivers can use at their disposal to change maybe the brake bias, to change that steering ratio. So you have to put a little bit more wheel under the truck. You can adjust the steering ratio or steering angle, so you actually have to turn the wheel a little bit less or a little bit more. You know, you can even adjust it to where you're turning a little bit to the right on the straight. It's kind of like how it was back in the good old days here. But with all that said, then let's get your starting lineup presented by High Velocity TV. Joe Hudson, your pole sitter, with Brandon Sanfilippo, your current points leader there, and that number 16 going to round out row 1. Third place is going to be Brandon Honeycutt in that number 13 machine. Lane Phillips going to complete your fast 4. Sam Kohlhaas in that number 28 machine in that number 5 position with Brandon Ish going to round out row 3. Rounding out your field, Bryce Dickinson and Ty Dickinson, the 2 brothers, rounding out that last row. Still waiting on Brandon to get in his truck. Remember, we were talking about Probably making some fuel adjustments, maybe using the restroom, maybe getting a beverage to drink with during the race. Obviously, it's pretty demanding to see for these drivers here. We see Brandon Ish not electing to get on the track here, so he will start from the pits. Could be a strategy call for that number 19 machine. Maybe he just could not get back to the sim in time to start the race on time. Taking a look at your race weather for tonight's race. 84 degrees here at Homestead. A little bit of a wind. 10 miles an hour. A little bit cloudy here. So perfect day to go racing here at Homestead. Look down at the bottom of your screen here. We just made an addition to the broadcast, having some live sports updates here. See the Knicks currently losing to the Celtics here in the third quarter. 5 minutes to go there. But as we get ready to go green here, Chevy front row. And we're green at Homestead. Turn forward here. Bill Hudson leads your first lap here at Homestead, but you see Brandon Honeycutt's loose. Is he going to save that machine? He does. What a save by the 13. Dom getting underneath the 49 there. You see him? You heard him on the radio there. We got the turn off race chat. You heard him say that's one. So already Honeycutt not happy with your race leader here of Joe. Maybe he thought he got pinched a little bit there. And especially on that bun, maybe not what you wanted to see out of your race leader. But everybody already spread out, probably reacting to the number 13 getting a little loose here. Closest battle on track here is probably for this P4 spot. Bryce under fire from his brother Ty and that number 67 machine. Everybody already kind of spread out single file here. We'll see this battle for this P4 spot. You see the 67 up top, the 84 on the bottom. 67 should get a run off the top to get closer to his brother here in that number 84 machine. See him on his back tailgate. Again, see the 84 on the bottom. You see the 67 is going to follow him this time. Going to run that bottom lane, going into 3 and 4. Pretty decent run out of the 67. And a peak on the outside, not going to get there in time though. The 67 continuing to run the top. 84 kind of drifts up a little bit, kind of running that middle lane. And here you see the 67's got a run on his brother. He's going to make that pass. High to P4 now. And Bryce will drop down to that P5 position. You see him back there in that P6 spot. Kind of just watching this battle ensue. Hoping that something happens and he can take advantage and kind of pounce on that opportunity to take away this P5 spot. See him kind of look underneath the 84 of Bryce here. Not going to be able to do anything of it. You already see Honeycutt. After that little spin, almost spin there, you see some right side damage to that tailgate. I don't think that would affect the way that truck is handling at all. If you're looking at fire chase, we'll go to chase cam actually see that right front damage to that fender on the back end of that truck. But you already see him, he hasn't really tried to push his stuff like I expected him to maybe get some track position back. You see him about 6/10 behind Sam in that 28 machine. So continuing the lead at Homestead, 7, now 8, now on lap 8, 7 complete of 120 at Homestead. And you already kind of starting to see the guys who ran up front starting to make their way up to the field lane, up to that P2 spot. San Filippo, your points leader, up to that P3 spot. Ty and Bryce still in 4th and 5th. Sam, who's, you know, a rookie in this truck series, still just mired back here in this P6 spot. I feel like he just needs to trying to learn how to run this truck, how to get faster. Ira, his brother, has really excelled here at some of these tracks, and I think Sam's just taking a little bit longer to figure out what he needs to do in the truck series. And that's okay. Why it's one of the lower series in the SSR slingshot sim racing series, right? It's obviously not the Cup series where you kind of have to be on your A game to compete for the championship. You can afford to come back here in the trucks and learn and slowly improve along the way here, and you know, show that you can race consistently and be a contender maybe in going into the next season or maybe the season after that. Remember, you look at it in real life. There's not a lot of times where you see a rookie, whether it's in the trucks in the Xfinity series or in the Cup series, where they just come out and immediately start winning races left and right. Like, being a little bit biased, the only time I can really think of rookies coming out there and winning multiple races in a year has been Harvick. Back in 2001 in the Cup Series, came out there, obviously won that close finish at Atlanta, historic finish, you know, his 3rd race, commemorating that the late Dale Earnhardt. And then won in Chicagoland also in 2001. But besides that, you don't really see a lot of rookies going out there and dominating right off the rip here. So it's good to see Sam just continue to just stick it out here. Not a lot of trucks. So you saw Brandon Ish decide not to start the race here. He did register for the session, but decided he did not like what he saw and decided to pack up the truck a little bit early here. So now only 7 trucks left with us here at Homestead. And now really everybody's starting to spread out here very much. The Lane Phillips still, you know, has Joe in his eyesight here. Trying to run this truck down. See them kind of trying to run a little bit the same lane here. See them trying to arc down into the corner to try to take away the advantages of doing that. But right now it looks like Joe doing a good job trying to feed Lane that dirty air here. Lane just needs to get a, there you go. He kind of do that. He needs to get a little bit below Joe there. Trying to just get a little bit of clean air on that left front tire. I feel like it'll really make a lot of headroom here. Joe's starting to pull a gap on the number 6 machine. And then San Filippo back there in the P3 spot. About an equal distance away from the number 6 machine. Ty Dickinson still in that P4 spot. Strong run for that number 67. His brother Bryce back there in 5th. And we were talking about him just a couple minutes ago. Back there in that 6th place spot. Brandon Honeycutt, remember, he's 2nd in points, but right now sitting back here in this P7 spot. I feel like he's just trying to manage those tires after that wolf he had on the first lap, trying to get around the 49 of Joe Hudson. Just managing that truck. In my opinion, that's exactly what I do. We have 7 trucks on the track. If he parks it now, he's still going to have a pretty decent points day. Comparatively to someone like, you know, Ira or McKellar. McKellar has lost a ton of spots these last couple weeks. I don't know if he's decided to bow out of the Truck Series Championship, trying to focus on winning that Cup Series Championship on Wednesdays. But this will be his second race in a row that he has missed out on the Tuesdays. I do understand that he does have, you know, a newborn, 4-month-old kid, probably 5 months old since I've talked to him now. And that is a lot of work. So hopefully, everything's going well for William. Everything's okay, because we definitely miss him here in the Truck Series, and hope he can at least come back for maybe the next couple races. Whether or not that means he is battling for a championship or not. And now he's sitting P6. You know, was sitting in the top 3 throughout the whole season here. Now he's fallen down 3 spots to that P6 position. But at the end of the day, I don't think amount of races count. You look at Brandon here in the 16. He's only ran 14 races. He's in P2 in points versus McKellar, who's ran 17. You know, Lane Phillips has ran 17. Brandon Honeycutt also, who's in that P2 spot in points. Same thing, 14 races. So he's 3 races behind and still in P2 in points. Obviously, those 3 wins really do help propel him up further to the points. And right now, only 7 points behind your race. Your points leader of Filippo. So obviously, I'm looking at regular season points. Actually, I don't have a way to look at playoff points here. Just obviously because Sim Racing Hub does not show me any of that information. See some comments in the chat here. Is Lane Phillips sponsored by Crunchyroll? I don't think so. Like he's got that Ed Farms machine. I think he is. He mates with the Dickinson brothers, isn't he? Because yeah, see Bryce right there in that Ed Farms machine as well. I'm not sure what's on that the hood of Lane Phillips's machine. They're definitely a very good looking truck. Lane always does good work with the paints. Whether I don't know if he's the one who's making the paints or if it's part of the Dickinson boys' group with the Ed Farms group or whatever, the Sweet Tea Gang group. But all these Fords always look good when they come out here. So speaking of that, you saw, as we were not looking, we saw Bryce get around his brother, tie for that P4 position. Now he's gonna try to go track down Brandon Sanfilippo in the number 16, but he is a second and a half up the road here. He's definitely got his work cut out for him, trying to get back up there. Right now, everybody kind of spread out once again here. Closest battle is Ty and Bryce once again. The 2 brothers trying to duke it out for that P4 spot. But Bryce starting to pull away from Ty here, about 6/10, 5/10 of a second, depending on where they are on the track. And besides that, that is definitely your closest battle on track as we speak now. Like Brandon Honeycutt got around Sam. Now he's trying to track down Ty as well. Go on board with Brandon and see what it's all about. What it's like to drive here at Homestead in traffic. Same with the run on the 67 there, and you already start to see that tire wear come into play here. remember at lap 1, he did get really upset trying to get around Joe Hudson and really had to back that truck up. And you already see that just that one slide already started to affect the way that truck handles. You saw he's having to baby it out off the corner here, trying to keep that truck straight and not to burn off the right rear. Because once you get that truck sideways, it's super hard to get that truck underneath you. You saw Bryce with the big slide on the top. He's going to give up that P5 spot to Brandon Honeycutt. So Brandon slowly trying to work his way back through the field here, but does have a 6-second gap to your race leader of Joe Hudson, and a second and a half to get up to Ty's brother and Bryce up there in the Ed Farms machine at 84. And once again, everything kind of calm and under everybody kind of running their own race. Joe now a 2.5-second lead to Lane Phillips in another P2 spot. So Joe really starting to show what kind of pace he has in this truck. Obviously qualified on the pole. We knew he would be a contender here at Homestead. And lately he hasn't been able to put a whole race together. It's been a couple weeks since we've seen number 49 in victory lane, and we expect him to get hit for wins every week. When he was running in the Cup Series, went and I think he got 2 wins in the Slingshot Sim Racing Cup Series, and then decided to focus more on the Truck Series to go maybe try to win a championship up here. Now you're starting to see, that Cup Series experience is starting to show off here and starting to wear off here into the trucks, and where he's consistently running, but up here in the top 2, top 3 consistently throughout the whole race. Lane also someone who dabbled, got their little toes wet in the Cup Series, and then decided to also come down here and focus more on the trucks. I think his was more of a scheduling conflict. I guarantee you that if Lane had the opportunity, he might come down and to run in the Cup Series on Wednesdays, but he's decided to just kind of go full time in the trucks. And Filippo, I feel like everybody in this field, I believe, has ran a couple races in the Cup Series, so everybody getting their feet wet in that next gen car. Obviously, it drives tremendously different than this truck does in basically every way. Different gearing. It's a sequential shifter. It's got a rear independent suspension. It has, a lot more different aerodynamics involved in it. So it's got a lot more power than these trucks do. A lot less downforce, so which makes it go faster. Gonna be interesting to see. Obviously, the next season there's gonna be a lot of big changes. Some of these Truck Series drivers might get asked to move up into maybe the Cup Series. Someone like a Joe Hudson or a Lane Phillips or San Filippo. Really, anybody that's racing tonight at Homestead could easily get an invite to come in and race in the Cup Series full time next season, because they all have done a really good job throughout the season, either being up there competitive and racing semi, for the most part pretty clean, or has done a good job. If they are struggling, getting out of the way here. Someone like a Bryce or a Ty, they're always up there racing, whether or not they're competing for a win, that doesn't matter, but they're still very clean and very patient drivers, and that's something that you need in the Cup Series. Someone who's willing to be patient with others and be very respectful. And Filippo starting the reel in 6 of Lane Phillips here. About half a second away. He was about a good second more. Now you're starting to see maybe some of the tie wear come into play, where you see someone like maybe a Lane Phillips and a Joe Hudson kind of abuse their stuff a little bit more than they probably want to. You start seeing a San Filippo come into play. He's starting to reel some of these drivers in. Right now, Joe Hudson, even with him with a 2.5-second lead on these two drivers. Still is running the fastest laps on the track with 35.39 versus these guys is 35.5s and 35.6s. Brandon Honeycutt even back there running 35.7s. I think that's a testament to that little spin out at the start of the race. Definitely had to baby these things a little bit more than they probably wanted to. And you saw him being super aggressive at the start of the race. They're trying to take the race lead away, but Joe pinched him down a little bit too much. Got that car upset. And had basically a huge slide, basically a drift around, all of that corner. It definitely upset the way that truck's handling now, but still running decent pace considering the circumstances. But now running, pace-wise, where he is on the track. And now Joe just a little bit quicker than everybody else on the field here. Actually, Lane and Brandon and Joe all ran pretty equal laps here. 58, a 59, and a 54. First through third there. And Bryce Dickinson with a 35.6. Brandon Honeycutt with a 35.69. I with the 36 flat. And Sam Kohlhaas with the 35.7. Let's go through and take a look at your points one more time. So some notable drivers out of the race today. Brandon Zimmerman decided not to show up here. He was 10th in points, so really needed to do something special here to keep himself in the points here. William McKellar not showing up. We talked about that earlier in the race. Going to continue to lose spots in the points here. Eric Kohlhaas also not showing up. And now he was 8th in points. I think he is the last driver on in the playoffs now, and he will definitely drop. Brandon Zimmerman, I believe, did get eliminated after that last race. Charlotte, I believe that the Truck Series ends around the same time as the Cup Series does, and obviously the Cup Series runs off of the IRL schedule. Take a look and see if that is true. Homestead. So they are 1 week ahead here. Looks like. So they ran at Vegas last week. They're running at Homestead today, Martinsville next week, and in Phoenix. We'll round off the championship here on November 3rd. I believe the Cup Series is 1 week behind, as the Cup Series championship is on November 13th. So the week after, we will crown a Cup champion here for the Slingshot Sim Racing over Peacemaker Gaming YouTube channel. Aaron doing the broadcasting for the Cup Series. Obviously, we're here doing the Truck Series and part-time for the Xfinity Series. And the other Xfinity broadcasts are done in-house here for Slingshot Sim Racing. So that's really cool to see that SSR has a little bit of an in-house broadcast that they can go back to if they need to. That's really cool. Not a lot of leagues have that. They have to outsource their league racing and everything else when it comes to broadcasts. Sam Kohlhaas, we've been riding on with him while we've been talking about points and other strategies that could happen here. He's actually started to catch the 67 of Ty Dickinson here. Starting to lose the handling of the truck, especially on exit there. You saw that back end really wiggly and stepping out of it here. The Honeycutt coming into pit road here. Lap 40 of 120, so you could definitely tell he's splitting fish into 3 pieces. A 2 pit stop strategy for the 13 machine. I think that's probably the best case scenario for him. Remember, he did get upset on lap 1. Probably used up those tires a lot more, having to save that truck. He definitely wanted to come down here as quick as he could to come down and take some fresh Goodyear tires. That's exactly what he's doing as he exits pit road here. 46.8 for a pit stop here. See Sam and Ty coming down pit road together. 14.3 second stop. 46.8 total for Brandon Honeycutt. Sam with a little bit of a longer stop here. Definitely not what he wanted to see. 14.8 for Sam. 14.8 for Ty as well. So I think Ty just did a little bit of a better job getting off pit road here. About a half a second lead on Sam. Joe Hudson down pit road. Alejandro lead off to San Filippo in the 16. Go down pit side here. He does have that first pit stop, pit box. That's definitely helpful for him. Joe with a 14.1. That's your fastest pit stop so far. A good stop for Joe. Lane Phillips down pit side. On with Bryce Dickinson. Now San Filippo, the only driver who's deciding not to pit. You see Joe Hudson in the background right there, gonna run down this driver pretty quickly. And he's got 44 laps on those tires versus Joe's freshies. And look at that. You see the 49 go past 16 is gonna come down pit road here. '16 electing to stay out 5 laps later than someone like a Brandon Honeycutt or a Ty and Sam. Comes to 16 though. See Joe coming out of turn 3 here. It's going to be a race off the road here. I think Joe's easily going to take this lead back. See Brandon's still trying to maneuver his way off pit road. Off the access road. Joe's going to come out here with a demanding lead. Almost over a 5 second gap here to Brandon into 16. Brandon with a faster overall pit stop, but those 1 lap fresher tires, that just shows how much that means. 3 lap fresher tires, my apology. As Brandon had a 37.7 overall time versus Joe's 38.4. So he definitely did have a better stop, but Joe did a better job coming out of pit road and taking advantage of those tires, and now has a 6 second lead over Brandon. Closest battle on track once again is the two Dickinsons just cannot get away from each other this race. Got Ty in 5th and Bryce in 6th, trying to reel in his brother. Sam in the background, you saw that. About a second behind this pack here. This is by far your closest battle on track. The Bryce catching his brother in a hurry.
Speak up. Don't try to mess with that shit. You want to talk it, talk it. Just remember, 2-year win, Sam, because I got wrecked. That's all you need to remember.
We have some beef, it sounds like. And this is exactly what's going to happen. You're going to see some tempers flaring towards the end of this. These guys are racing for a championship at the end of the day. Remember that, guys. You're going to start to hear some tempers flaring, some people getting upset. And you're going to start to see some people that not really give a crap about everybody else. I mean, they're here for one reason. It's to come out here and try to race for a championship and put their name on the map as a truck series champion here for the Slingshot Sim Racing series. And a lot of the time, you know, it's going to be easier to flare out and, you know, get a little bit more upset. Bryce ended up getting around his brother of Ty. Ty's going to try to stay within arm's length reach here. Try to just keep this 84 in front of him. Try not to let him get away too much. No, you got to think that maybe Bryce is using up his stuff a little bit more than Ty's willing to. Ty might try to get back to him on the long run here. Maybe Ty flipping what he did last time. Remember, Ty went out there and really went and passed Bryce pretty early on in the run here and gapped him a lot. But then as the run went on, you saw Bryce catch back up. And then Ty actually fell back all the way back to Sam back there for that P7 position. Maybe Ty doing the ladder here and trying to save a little bit more than he did last run. He'll go and try to run that 84 down when he thinks the time is right. Joe continuing the lead here at Homestead, and has a demanding lead. Looking back at San Filippo, 7 seconds he has gapped the 16 machine. It's still running faster laps, even though he does have a couple lap older tires compared to San Filippo, running about 34 threes to San Filippo's 34 fours. Lane Phillips with running some 34 twos, so right now he is currently one of the fastest trucks on the track. Bryce running some 34 twos as well, so Bryce really trying to put the hammer down and to get some more time back to maybe get up there and try to race for that P4 spot. Now Brandon Honeycutt. Brandon's starting to slowly make his way up through the field here. Only down 1 spot now from where he qualified, but does have a 4-second gap to get to Lane Phillips. So look in the nose cam here. You can barely see that truck out front there. But now everybody kind of running around each other, kind of running by themselves. You see Bryce has the 13 in eyesight. Ty definitely has his brother in eyesight still. Sam's on board here. Definitely see the 67. And now everybody very spread out here. 55 complete here at Homestead. Now looking back at, see if we can pull up your, you know, your race winners here. We do not have an updated winners list here, of course. Can't go race by race in the standings here. Yeah, I cannot, trying to figure out, gotta see what drivers have won where. I don't think it's gonna give us that info. I don't think we get that info here on Sim Racing Hub. That is unfortunate. The Brandon Honeycutt off pit road here. He's already come down and taken another set of tires here. I don't think he got into the wall or anything. Let's see if he got any damage fixed or anything. Looks like no, a scheduled stop here for Honeycutt. Very interesting. So Honeycutt electing to pit here. Now he's two laps down now, trying to get back one lap down. Remember, these two drivers had a little bit of misunderstanding here at the start of the race. So we know Brandon is not going to cut this number 49 any slack here. Like the 49's not going to cut him any slack either. We might see some tempers flaring here if this racing continues like this. The 13 going to go up and try to rip the wall here. Oh, a little door check by the 49. Joe's gonna still try to race.
Go on or do something. Come on. Quit fucking around.
Did you hear Joe? Very irritated with the 13 there. I mean, the top's just not as quick here when you're racing side by side. I don't know if this is going to be a little game of chicken here or what, but 13 going to lay back here. Maybe the 49, maybe Joe will give the 13 the inside here. Joe's going to drive it in pretty deep here and going to kind of park it in front of the 13. I don't see this ending very well if Joe doesn't let him go here. Joe has a 5-second lead. If I were Joe, I would just, let this guy by. He seems like he does not have any patience, and he's doing this just to kind of get in your head, maybe. I just let him go. If I were that number 49 machine. See, Joe's still gonna fight him. The 13 underneath the 49. Gonna get side by side on the exit here. 49 should get a good run off though. He does. Clears the 13. Thirteen's not going to give up, trying to get back on the lead lap. Get back to 1 lap down, my apologies. He is 2 down now, trying to get back to 1 down. He's going to need a caution if he wants that. Lucky for you race fans at home, it is some exciting racing. You see the 13 have to check up to keep off the 49. I don't think the 13 wants to wreck Joe, but putting him in a really questionable spot here. Actually forcing Joe to probably use up his stuff a little bit more than he probably wants to. Obviously, Joe has a 5.5 second lead. I don't think he minds having to hemorrhage some time, trying to keep this 13 behind him. I think that's exactly what he needs to do. If he doesn't want to let him go, he's got to go out and gap this 13. The 13 seems like he has something up his sleeve here. Right now, Joe not being able to start to pull away from the 13 machine here. 13 is going to try to top once again here. 13 will get a run. Side by side out of 2. With a little bit of the side drive, trying to pull that 49 back. Ooh, side by side once again. Into 3 out of 4. Side by side. See, both drivers pretty cordial with each other. We don't see any Dorn or anything. But definitely Joe, definitely not liking what he's seeing. I mean, he's still running. Faster laps than P2 San Filippo right there. He ran a 35.3 that lap. San Filippo ran a 35.4. So even side by side here, Joe's still quicker than your P2 driver. See, about halfway, we usually try to go and do a commercial breaks, and a shout out to our good friends over at Scary Strokes right now. This racing is really good for this transfer to get back to 1 lap down here for the 13. So we're going to keep it right here as long as we can. If this battle dies down, we will go and let our friends over at Scary Strokes give their message out. But right now, this is incredible racing between the 13 and the 49. 2 championship contenders. Second and third in points. The 13 doing everything he can to try to get around this 49, but Joe is not giving it up easy here. 13 just stuck to the outside of that 49, trying to do everything he can to get around him. 49 is going to clear once again. Look on the inside here, has to back out. 38 is going to maybe push him wide here. No, he's going to still stay on the back tailgate of the 49. See if he can make something in the 1 in here. 1 and 2. And underneath him, has to back out. Joe kind of cuts his nose off. Obviously, with Joe, I understand why he's a little bit upset, but I wouldn't be too worried. I mean, even with this whole battling situation he has with the 13, still running at the very least equal times to that P2 driver, San Filippo. And, he is starting to reel them in a little bit now under 5 seconds, just a little under 5 seconds. But it's going to take a while for Brandon to reel them in if they continue to do this. I think Joe might let him go here. He will not. Side by side once again. Joe's going to get a run off the top. Gonna clear the 13 once again. 13 with the run, no. Now he's gonna look. Now he's gonna look on the outside of the 49, side by side to the line. For some of these guys, they're only about 5 or 6 laps away from being in range to go down pit road if they're gonna equally split this in the 3 here. So I would, Joe, if I think it's a good idea, I would kind of maybe come down pit road a little bit earlier here so you can get out of this carnage. Right now, you know, saw people like Honeycutt was the first person to come down pit road, and I was on lap 40. Saw some people wait and come down, like at St. Philippa, waiting until lap 45. So, I mean, we're within that 10 lap margin of being able to, you know, go down pit road and at least make it the rest of the way on fuel. Still going to clear the 13, but Honeycutt is still not giving up on trying to get around this 49, or at least sit right behind him and maybe force showing a mistake here. That's the thing, though. Joe is not spooked very easily through my time racing with them and through my time trying to, you know, force him into a mistake. He's never done that once. So, the 13 on the outside once again. If he can get a good run off, he might be able to clear here, but it just seems like that truck does not want to rotate as much as Joe's truck does. Just cannot make that outside work here. He will get a run once again, and he's going to have to stick it on the outside of Joe going into 1 and 2. Cannot get the center rotation off to complete this pass. Now if I'm Joe, I'm starting to get a little concerned here. Honeycutt has cut this lead back down to about 3.5. Oh, Joe down pit road. I think Honeycutt was trying to follow him down there. Completely overshot it. Honeycutt's going to stay out here.
That correct?
And with that battle weighing out, we're going to go ahead and let our friends over at Scary Strokes take over and share the message. We'll go right back after our words from them.
Welcome to Scary Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini-golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP Party Pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters.
Welcome back to Homestead. 83 of 120 complete. Here you see your top 5. Sam Kohlhaas, Ty Dickinson, Joe Hudson, Brandon Sanfilippo, and Lane Phillips. Top 5 here as the green flag pit stops are underway. As we said, Sam Kohlhaas out here leading your field here, leading his first laps of the race. Fast pitted 43 laps ago. So right at that lap 40 mark. Lap 41 even maybe. And yeah, everybody else besides Ty Dickinson has come down pit road and found some fresh tires. Ty Dickinson right there in that P3 spot. It's still not yet to come down, and as we see that now, here he comes down pit road as well as Sam. They like to stay at about 5-ish laps after everybody else decides to come down. Everybody else came down around that lap 80 mark that we said might happen. They like to stay 5 laps later. Maybe hoping for a caution. Maybe this is a strategy to qualify these two drivers. Joe Hudson will re-inherit this lead. About a 6-second gap back to Brandon Sanfilippo. Real quick, we're gonna pull up the thumbnail here. We're gonna actually turn off race chat here. Got to do that during the commercial break. That is my apologies. You'll hear those beautiful cars go around me, so we still had to pick her up so you guys could at least see some type of live timing and scoring. Brandon Honeycutt getting out of the way right there of, at least trying to get out of the way of Sanfilippo. He does. Ham and Sanfilippo teammates here in the SSR Sweet Tea Game Truck Series, so definitely don't want to impede a teammate at all. Especially with under 40 to go here. Sam Kohlhaas. The battle for position actually right here, I believe. Sam trying to get around Brandon Honeycutt here. Sam with about 25 lap pressure tires, so I don't see how this would be a hard move for him to make here, and it wasn't. Ty gonna make his way, gonna try to catch back up and make his way around him for the 6th place spot as well. We'll put Ty up to P6. Brandon Honeycutt back down to P7. All these guys 1 lap down, so 1 caution right now. We'll give Sam that lucky dog to get him back on the lead lap. But with only 7 cars on the track, I find that pretty hard to believe that we will get a caution. Obviously, not impossible, but with 7 cars on the track, it's going to be pretty hard with everybody as spread out as they are. I doubt we will see a caution flag anytime soon. With that, your close battle on track are these 2 cars right here, the 28 and the 67, Sam and Ty. Like Ty is trying to run down this 28 machine. Ty on board here. Glad to see that. I believe it was one of the 2 brothers had some wheel issues last week in the Cup race. Unfortunately, had to back out early. Glad to see that at least they got the wheel fixed to some sort of ability and to where they're at least somewhat competitive here. You know, both of them running in the top 10 here. Granted, there's only 7 cars on track, but hey, top 10 is a top 10. let's go through the field here. Brought to you by, once again, HVT. Joe Hudson leading 82 of the 91 laps complete here, so pretty dominant race for him, but he's still out here leading up front here. Brandon Sanfilippo is straight up here. We're in this top 5 all race. See here, I'm here currently in P2. Has led a couple laps here on pit strategy, stayed out a couple laps later. Got these runs here. Lane Phillips, very solid race for him once again. Kind of been sitting here in this P3 spot all race. Like he might sit there without a mistake. Bryce Dickinson in this P4 spot. Great run for this 84 machine. He's had some really bad luck throughout this season here in the Sweet Tea Gang Truck Series, so it's great to see him up here running in the top 5. Sitting here in P4. Ty just made the pass for the P5 spot, so his brother... So Bryce's brother Ty right now gonna round out your top 5. You saw here, high of second through that pit strategy, and led a couple laps through pit strategy as well, but now drops back to 6, 1 lap down. And Brandon Honeycutt, your P2 in points, now currently sitting P6, 7, and looks like he's gonna run down by your number 3 driver of Lane Phillips. Like Lane will probably just easily get around this 13, as Brandon has 34 laps on those tires compared to Lane's 15, so been out on those tires a little bit more than twice as much as that number 6. A 25, coming to 25 to go here. These laps are starting to wind down. Really, all Joe needs to do is kind of go on cruise control, and he will dominate another race here. Obviously, cautions can happen still with 25 to go, but everybody pretty spread out. With 25 to go here. Once again, the close battle is for that P5 spot. Ty trying to run away from the 20 to Sam Kohlhaas, about 5 tenths behind that 67 machine is Sam. But like Ty is starting to slowly pull away from Sam Kohlhaas there in that number 28 machine. So once again, I feel like Joe just needs to kind of go be smooth, be steady, and not worry about anything else here. Really slow here, down pit road once again. On board with Brandon for this pit stop. I really wish you could see the pit crew, man, as a spectator here, but unfortunately the only time you get to see those pit crew guys is if you're in the truck. Him come out of pit road now. Once again, I was going to be officially 2 laps down because he did have to come down here. I think he did an extra pit stop here, so saw him take 4 fresh Goodyear tires. Now with 22 to go, I mean, he will be the fastest truck on the track. And now Joe, now with the oldest tires in the field with 20. Will Lane also with 20, my apologies. So Lane and Joe, 20 laps on their tires, 18 for Sanfilippo and Bryce Dickinson, and 13 for Ty and Sam. And now obviously Brandon with these fresh Goodyear tires with 21 to go. Obviously not going to get 2 laps back on pace here, just not enough time for that. But might be able to get, a lap back. We go look at our track map. 13 is coming out of turn number 4 here. And Joe is going into turn number 4, so Gonna almost have to make up a whole lap with 21 to go here. We'll see if he can do it. It's gonna be tough, but we'll see. We'll see what Brandon can do here in that number 13 machine. Little battle ensuing here for this P5 position. Sam's has ran down to 67. Now they will duke it out for this P5 spot with 20 to go here at Homestead. Sam has always done a good job keeping the tires underneath him, keeping that truck underneath him, and being there at the end to pounce on a position or two. It's always, I feel like, one of Sam's strong suits. He's always there, keeping the truck clean, not over pushing it. He never over pushes in these trucks. And sorry, got paused, but yeah, Sam always doing a good job here. Even that truck underneath him, he has lost a little bit of time to tie as he tried to look for this battle. Maybe Sam pushed a little too hard trying to get back up to tie and to regroup, trying to figure out another way to get up to this number 67 machine. You see at the bottom once again, you see if you're interested in any college football, you see UTEP playing Louisiana Tech. Tied 33, tied 7-7. Celtics beat the Knicks 132 to 109. Coming up. Could be starting anytime soon. Lakers will play the Timberwolves. FIU and Sam Houston tied 7 apiece with 104 left in the fourth quarter. Joe Hudson still continues to lead here, but his lead has started to get cut down here. You see Brandon Sanfilippo starting to put the pressure on. And a huge mistake lap for Joe there. 35.6 to, oh, my apologies. Huge lap for Joe. 35.6 to Brandon Sanfilippo's a 35.9. So, Joe's starting to stretch this out again, trying to put, but Brandon starting to put the pressure on a little bit. I think not a good lap for him. But you see him starting to wrap the top here. When you wrap the top here, let's go on board here. Kind of go almost flat out here on the top. Here I'm trying to throttle and baby it as much as we can, but still trying to push this truck as hard as you can here. But there it is. There's the last time I was seeing. So Joe's running about 35.5s. Brandon Sanfilippo just ran a 35.1. Dude, that was 4/10 quicker that lap compared to your race leader here. So 14 to go. He's definitely got enough time. If he can continue to keep this pace up, he will catch Joe. Picked up the pace a little bit. We're running a 4, but Brandon ran a 2. That's 2/10 quicker. Brandon's on pace to run about 3/10 quicker. Not 2 this lap. About 2 to 3/10 quicker this lap. Joe's losing a lot of time in turn 4 here. That's where he's losing it. He's really wanting to run that top. Now it's gonna look like they'll almost be half a second quicker. About 4/10. But Brandon is coming, and he's trying to get there as quick as he can. We're gonna stay on board with Brandon here and see if he can get to him. And they might go into a gearbox camera as this 16 catches. Because Brandon did a little bit of tire saving, I think, here, and is starting to try to run down as much as he can here. Or maybe Brandon wasn't saving it at all. He's just trying to give everything he can here with 11 to go here at Homestead. Down to a second now. Definitely has time to run down this leader. At the time, even though that wasn't the best 1 and 2, he's still going to gain a little bit on Joe. Super side was out of turn 2, though. Still about, I would say, a 10th and a half up. Look at Joe there, trying everything he can to get some more speed out of that truck. They're going to start to see these guys in the same camera frame. This is how close it's getting. San Filippo, 35-4. Joe Hudson, 35-8. You saw San Filippo getting the wall there a little bit. That's going to start to even things out just a little bit for this lap. And it's still quicker though, going into 3 and 4. He is catching Joe, but will there be enough time for him to make the pass? So, super loose on exit here, trying to get everything he can out of this truck. About 2/10 quicker again for San Filippo. Brandon can just run the top, but Joe cannot anymore. He's got to rely on this bottom to help get his tires cooled back down. Brandon having nothing to tank to get to him. Brandon itching in lap by lap. You see Joe get a little bit of a better exit here, but he's going to get a little sideways. He's going to give all that back up. Now that Brandon's gotten to that dirty air, though, the lap times have started to planer off here just a little bit. See, that 16 is starting to get loose on the top. Maybe Joe has found something on the bottom line here that he can try to use for the rest of the race. See, the 16 trying to switch around for some more grip on the bottom. Really good corner by the 16. Ooh, super loose, though. Into the wall he goes. This is by far the closest battle. You have Lane Phillips 20 seconds behind these two. He's going to easily get that third place spot. Bryce Dickinson 3 seconds behind him for that in that P4 spot. So Lane would have to make a grave mistake to give him Bryce an opportunity here, but San Filippo doing everything he can to try to get to the rear end, using all that track up. Great run by the 16 on the exit 4 there. (16) using the top once again here. He will get. Oh, you see the 49 loose. And he's going to spin it out. Is that going to be a caution? It will. Caution out with 4 to go here at Homestead. And we saw right there what happened. back it up here. It just looks like Joe drove it way too far into the corner here. Had to chase it up the track. Fortunately, the 16 was up there. He made that contact with the 16. It just snapped that car around. See the 16 getting the wall from the contact. And around goes the 49. Well, definitely not what Brandon and Joe wanted. I mean, because now they're gonna have to worry about Lane Phillips and Bryce Dickinson and all these guys. That's exactly what Sam wanted, though. That's definitely gonna give Sam the lucky dog here. He's gonna get one lap back beyond the lead lap and might be able to contend for a podium here if he's aggressive enough. So, Sam, gonna be sending out some thank you letters because of that. You see Bryce Dickinson wrecking down pit road here. Take a look and see what happened in this 84 machine. I think he was just trying to hurry to get down pit road here, hit the seam. I just locked up the tires here and gonna hit that front end pretty hard. See a big dimple on the front end of that nose and then also on the rear end. Definitely not what we want to see out of Bryce. Bryce having a good run. Definitely gonna have to sit down there and get some of that damage fixed now, but could have been worse. I could have easily blown his engine, so got lucky with that one. So everybody coming out of pit right here. San Filippo keeps the lead. Joe Hudson P2. Lane Phillips P3. Sam Kohlhaas still needs to come down pit road here as he is the lucky dog. And Bryce coming out of pit road here. In that P5 spot, Ty and P6 coming down pit road now as he is a lap car. Here comes Sam coming down pit road as he is the lucky dog. He will start at the tail end of the lead pack here. Of the pack, not even the lead pack. But he does get that lap back. Brandon Honeycutt staying out here, trying to get a lucky, looks like gonna do a wave around here. I'm not sure how many tires these drivers were allowed to have here, but I don't even know if Honeycutt has a set of tires left to take, even if there was a caution to come out. Honeycutt has pitted one extra time here. Comparatively to the rest of the field. So Honeycutt gets the wave. Kohlhaas gets the lucky dog. We'll have two drivers with some strategy calls. Starting at the back here, obviously Brandon will get that wave. Start at the tail end of the field. Sam will get the tail end of the field for getting the lucky dog. And now San Filippo elects the top here, it looks like. We will be going overtime racing here at Homestead. So this is our only caution for the night's race. Not surprising, as there's only 7 trucks that elected to race here tonight at Homestead-Miami Speedway. But that brings everybody together. Lane Phillips is someone I'm looking at to be aggressive for this green-white checkered. He could definitely steal one, lock himself into the round of 4, and into Phoenix if he can sneak one in here. Obviously hasn't been the quickest, but you don't need to be the quickest. You seem to be the luckiest right now with these green white checkers. Anything can happen. See the pace car come off turn. Come into the pits here now. Chevy front row. Ford second row. San Filippo leads us once again to green for overtime at Homestead. Great jump by the 16. Very good jump by the 16. Joe might need some help from someone else to get him back up there, but here comes Joe with a run. Joe looking underneath the 16 here. He's going to have to give him the bottom. Wow, Joe makes the pass. It's the 16 who's going to get to the back of the 49. He saves it, but here comes Lane Phillips. Lane Phillips leads. 1 to go here at Homestead. We just lost our timing and scoring here. Lane Phillips off of turn 2. Not the best turn 2 as you see the 84 spinning out in the back there. Bryce Dickinson spins it out going here. Lane Phillips out of turn 4. He's 16 with the run here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Contact between the two leaders, and Lane Phillips is going to steal one at Homestead. Lane Phillips, your winner here at Homestead, and what a finish. Now you can say this was a lame duck, but that finish definitely did not disappoint. Now, I'm not sure what that was about between the 16 and the 49. I felt like those two had raced pretty cordial throughout the whole race here. And you just saw the 16 kind of just put the bumper to the 49. Remember, the 16 is teammates with the 13 of Honeycutt, so maybe that had something to do with it. You're going to see the 6 come here and burn it down here, potentially. There he goes. Look at that stat line, everybody. Led 2 of 123. He led 2 laps tonight. He's gonna come home victorious here at Homestead, and he also locks himself into the championship at Phoenix. You gotta think that's a heartbreaker for Joe Hudson there. I want to go back and take a look at that last lap contact between Hudson we can get it. I don't think we are going to get it because, fortunately, our live timing and scoring ended where we could grab that. But we will just have to do it the old way, the old man way. I'll go ahead and pull up the thumbnail here. We'll get you that replay of that contact between the 49 and the 16. Take a look at it from here. Just from the restart here, we're going to speed it up a little bit. So the 49 dives it deep down there and kind of uses up the 16 a little bit. Forces the 16 out of it. Looks like some net code as well. I don't really see any contact between the two. And you see the 16 right here. And it drives it in there. Puts the bumper to the 49. And because of that, the way the 49 spins out, it makes the 16 have to check up. And look at that. Where did he come from? Lane Phillips on the outside here. It's the run of a lifetime due to the checking up, and he takes the lead going to 1 to go here. You see Barney up there with the white flag waving. and he just runs away with it here. I feel like the 16 kind of used the stuff up, getting to the 49. You see Joe fall all the way back here to that 4th place spot. And then spins out once again, trying to keep it off the 84. And look at that. Looking at the results right there. You see Bryce spin it down the track here. We didn't get to see that. Kind of loses control of the car on the last lap here. Unfortunate for Bryce. Had such a good run. Maybe that damage had something to do with it. He's going to smack the inside wall, tear up the left front there. A lot of damage for that 84. But Sam Kohlhaas, according to my unofficial timing and scoring, sneaks out a P3 here at Homestead after everything he went through. He's going to get a P3 here. But with that, let's go ahead and actually pull up your unofficial results at Homestead, not Richmond. Lane Phillips going to take it here at Homestead. Brandon Sanfilippo P2, Sam Kohlhaas P3, Joe Hudson P4, Bryce Dickinson P5, Ty Dickinson P6, Brandon Honeycutt 1 lap down in 7th, and Brandon Ish starting parked, and he's gonna unofficially finish 8th here. That's that, guys. Let's go ahead and pull in your top 3 finishers for tonight's race. Let's go ahead and get a shout from your 3rd place finisher, Sam Kohlhaas here. Hey Sam, it's Christian up in the HVTV booth. You got a copy? Well, definitely interesting and eventful race for you. You kind of seemed like you were just trying to keep that truck underneath you for the most of the race, trying to kind of finish the race here, and then kind of everything kind of fell in your lap there. You know, you got that lucky dog at the end there from the contact between Joe and Sanfilippo, and then obviously you saw some more contact between those two on the white flag there, and you were able to capitalize and become a P3 finish here. So walk me through your race and walk me through what was going through your head those last couple laps there. Yeah, walk us through that. Like when you saw them bumping and going at it, did you think that you would have an opportunity to get around them, or were you just trying to put your truck in the best spot to just get to the finish there?
Well, I knew it would be close because I haven't had the best of luck when it comes to that. If I think I can get around somebody last lap, I usually get involved with it. So today it actually worked out in my favor, and I don't wish any bad luck on anybody, but it actually worked out in my favor, and I was able to cleanly get around them and finish P3.
You can't complain about that, but yeah, I mean that's exactly what you did. You came out here, you tried to keep the truck underneath you, tried to keep the truck clean. Obviously, you mentioned before, not the best turnout here, but it's towards the end of the season. You're gonna have a little bit of burnout here, but you can't complain about a P3 finish. But before we let you go here, anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors? Any shout outs? Anything? Anybody watching at home?
Yep. Hi, Catherine. She's always watching. She watches every race. My younger brother Ira, he couldn't be here tonight. He's out west hunting. I'm sure he's watching on his phone. He's got a big old smile on his face. Big thanks to Chris and his guys for letting me put Sheets Laundry Club on the truck, and that's about it for me. Glad to be here.
We're glad to have you here racing with us every week here. But yeah, once again, congrats on a P3 finish, and hopefully we can maybe talk to you up here once again next week.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks.
That was Sam and the number 28 machine. Unfortunately, we're not going to get any current stats or anything up like that, but we are going to talk to your P2 finisher, Brandon Sanfilippo. Hey, Brandon, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Hey, I got you.
Well, definitely an eventful race for you. And it looked like you and Joe were kind of the two guys to beat here. You were doing a good job running him down towards the end there, and unfortunately, like Joe got a little bit loose underneath you and brought out that caution, and then it kind of looked like just a little bit of chaotic, a little bit of a chaotic finish here. But walk me through your race. Walk me through what was going through your mind last couple laps there.
Yeah, I just knew I'd have to find a different line with the temperature in the track, so I started running pretty high on 1 and 2, and then taking a really late cut on 3 and 4, and it was working really good. And as soon as I get past him, 3 laps to go, it was like deja vu, like last week. Take the high side coming out of 4 or coming out of the turn, and get taken out. Just unfortunate.
Yeah, it just looked like from the broadcast side, he drove it in a little bit too deep. Kind of was trying to save it, and then by the time he had to walk it up the track, and unfortunately you were there to get caught up into it. But luckily, not a lot of damage for you. But going into that green white checkered, we obviously knew you were going to be aggressive. Probably weren't the most happy with the way Joe was racing you, especially putting you in the position back there. But did you think you needed to be that aggressive, trying to get your way into it to spot to win this race?
With 2 laps to go, I'm pushing it hardcore. I dove it in there. I know Joe, when he was running earlier, he was running about a lane up, so I thought maybe I could get at least under him and maybe drive him up the track, but he stayed down low and got right in the back of him.
Yeah, luckily Joe was able to save it. But yeah, I mean that's kind of what it looked like. It looked like just you two trying to go for the same real estate, and unfortunately, no, can't go for the same spot at the same time. But I mean, granted, with all that, still a P2 finish for you. I think that should still secure the points lead for you, at least for the regular season style points that we have on Sim Hub. But going into next week at where are we at next week? I believe we're at Martinsville.
I believe we're at Martinsville. Martinsville, yeah.
Yeah. What is your thought process going into there?
Usually Martinsville is just survive, so definitely just got to clean it up in these next 2 races and hope for the best. Survive next week, and then just race it all out on our last week at Phoenix.
Sounds like a good plan for you. But before I let you go, anybody want to shout out sponsors, friends, anybody watching at home?
Just all the friends and family for watching. You guys for putting on a great show. John and everybody for putting on the league. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate the kind words. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go up there and celebrate with friends and family, and get ready for next week. But hopefully we can talk to you next week, maybe one spot better in victory lane.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
Yep. Have a great rest of the night. That was Brandon Sanfilippo, your P2 finisher. Well, once again, led through a laps here. Just unfortunately, did not get it done here. 11 out of 23. Led a pretty decent, a handful of laps here, but unfortunately just could not get it done here. But Mr. Where did he come from? We're gonna go ahead and talk to the race winner here. Led a 2 of 123. We're gonna talk to your race winner, Lane Phillips here. Hey Lane, it's Christian up in HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Well, definitely a chaotic finish for you. It seemed like not as you had more of a plainer race compared to maybe a Joe or a Brandon or a Honeycutt even at that. But kind of sitting there in that third place spot throughout the most of the race here. But towards the end there, it looks like it got a little chaotic. So just walk me through your race and walk me through what was going through your head for those last couple of restarts.
Oh, well, I don't know. First off, I don't know why the 13 is so upset with me. He got loose on lap 3, wrecked himself, and then he got loose under me again and wrecked himself. And he's messaged me on Discord about some crazy stuff. But other than that, brother, I haven't turned a lap here in probably a year and a half. I was just out here running, trying to make points. That was Joe's race to lose tonight, and the 13 got his panties in a wad and decided to block for the other truck, and it didn't end up working out for him the way it went. So, yeah, man, I don't know. I wouldn't expect that out of the people in this league, but hey, it is what it is. We got the win. Just how it goes sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good here, but especially at Homestead where you can kind of run wherever you want on the top, on the bottom, in the middle. Yeah, that was definitely interesting to see that there. I mean, that's just teammate racing right there. Sometimes you're gonna do what you need to help your teammate out, but sometimes it's in a controversial way, and sometimes it's not in the way that people expect it to be. But that's racing. So, but yeah, I mean, you come home with the win here, only leading 2 laps, as you said. You know, it was kind of those race to lose here, but going into Martinsville, you locked yourself into the playoffs. I mean, into the championship four, going into Phoenix. So, what's your mindset going into Martinsville, and what's your plan going into Phoenix now that you know that you're racing for a championship?
Uh, I mean, hell, it's okay, I guess. I mean, hell, it's probably only gonna be 6 trucks next week. I don't know. Them boys gonna have to put in a lot of work to beat me on a short track, and Phoenix is a short track as well. So who knows? I might can get the win. Hopefully, it's nice to be locked in. I didn't want it that way, but it is what it is, man. Another race.
Yeah, that's what they say. You know, it's once again, it's better to be lucky than good. But you luck your way into a win here with some contact with the two leaders there. But before we let you go to celebrate this win, anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors, family, friends watching at home? Anybody?
E&D Farms, Papa Mike's Promotions, Miss Susie Dixon, Susie Bear, Complete Motorsports. Let's see. Let me look on the rest of this truck. It's been a while since I've been in a truck. Sweet Tea Gang, Complete Motorsports, like I said, John, all those guys over there. But yeah, for Ross and Lousy and all them putting it on, man, and you for broadcasting.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate the kind words, and especially that race admins. I know they're gonna have a little bit of work post race to do so. But besides that, once again, congratulations on your win here, and I'll let you go and celebrate with friends and family, and hopefully we can talk to you once again at Victory Lane maybe next week, or maybe as our Truck Series champion at Phoenix.
Yeah, man, hope so.
Okay. Have a good rest of the night.
You too, buddy. Bye.
That was your race winner, Lane Phillips there, and that six machine. Definitely a chaotic finish here. But once again, we'll go through your race results one more time. Lane Phillips, we just talked to him, your race winner. Brandon Sanfilippo is going to squeak out a P2. Unfortunately, not the finish he probably wanted. Sam Colas going to somehow get a P3 here. A great run for Sam. He's definitely earned it, and I've seen a screen chat. Looks like something that Sam has coming his way, and it looks like it's a popular podium finish. Joe Hudson, P4. Bryce Dickinson, P5. Ty Dickinson, P6. Brandon Honeycutt, P7. And Brandon Ish just starting and parking. And unofficially wind up in 8-2. So, but besides that, guys, I think it's time to, start to round this out. So, once again, guys, this was the PT Gang Truck Series over at Homestead. I am your lead commentator, Christian Delgado, owner High Velocity TV, but also your lead producer commentator for the night's race. I appreciate everybody for coming out and typing in chat. If you would, please hit that thumbs up on the live stream, whether you're on Twitch or on YouTube. For people that don't know, we do also broadcast over on Twitch, over at twitch.tv/ChristianBoss13, but also on the YouTube over at High Velocity TV. So go subscribe to both of those channels. I'd really appreciate it. Everybody over at the High Velocity team would appreciate it. But please hit that thumbs up. Please share this stream with friends and families. The Croft just help us grow. We are very small and trying to grow as big as we can here. Besides that, guys, thank you guys so much for coming out and watching the broadcast. Be sure to tune in to Peacemaker Gaming's broadcast for the SSR Cup Series. Tomorrow, right here at home at Las Vegas. We raced there in the Sweet Tea Game Truck Series last week. We are a week behind in the Cup Series, but we'll be racing there at Vegas to start the round of 8. So please be sure to go in and watch the broadcast, support the league, support Aaron over there. But besides that, guys, hope everybody has a great rest of the Tuesday. We'll see you guys soon. Hope everybody has a great rest of the night. We'll see ya.